Hey everybody, I'm John Hartness, and I'll be playing the role of Fandango, the hopefully not to be feathered for very much longer. In real life, I write a bunch of different series, including the Black Knight Chronicles, Quincy Harker Demon Hunter, and my newest release, Bubba the Monster Hunter Blaze of Glory, is available for purchase today. So, go pause the podcast and go buy this shit. Wait, this comes out on Wednesday. If you're listening to this late, it's available today. Go pause the podcast and buy my shit. If you're listening to it on time, pre-order it. It'll be there at midnight.
Hi, my name is Joseph Barassi. I play the role of Bjorg Bjornsson, enthusiastic and violent barbarian. I was an author on the Mongoliad books. My novels Skyfarer and Dragon Road are available from Angry Robot Books. And I ain't got one of those alternate titles today, so just enjoy the word Iron Body Blast Butt.
Hey, my name is Rick Gualtieri, and in real life I might be the Stallion of the Gods inside my own mind, but hopefully I won't be playing him much longer now that we seem to almost have our bodies back. Guess we'll see. In real life, I write such things as Toma Bill of the Dead, Crypto Hunters, and coming soon is Sins of the Past, which is the first Bill of the Dead False Icons crossover. Keep an eye out for it.
Hello, friends. My name is Robert Bevan. I play the role of Weasel Klaus, for now. In real life, I write the Caverns and Creatures series of fantasy, comedy, novels, and short stories, starting with the first book, Critical Failures. I'm also the author of many of the Shingles collection, including the one that just came out before this airs, Whiz Kid. I crossed some lines with this one, guys. This may be the shinglesiest shingles of all. Enjoy it, and
Jesus, given the source, that is terrifying.
I know, right?
If I'm not a part of this podcast later, well, you know why. I loved you.
Oh God, now we have to read.
If you come to New Jersey to enact revenge, I will just say Robert Bevan doesn't live there.
Hi there, I'm Steve Weverill, and I play Brandon Firemaster, currently a Puma, perhaps about to become OG Brandon Firemaster. OG. In real life, I write such books as the Doomsayer Journeys with Falstaff Books and Brandon Firemaster and Some Other Guys, now available on audio. Go check it out.
Hey everybody, I am Drew Hayes, the shepherd of this shit flock of sheep. Wandering down the mountain path, also the Dungeon Master, also the author of books such as Superpowers, NPCs, Fred the Vampire Accountant, 5 Minute Sherlock, and the Villain's Code series, the latest of which, Bones of the Past, you can pick up right now in audiobook or ebook. And unlike John's, mine's actually, yes, you can get that right now. Can get that for a few weeks, in fact. But, speaking of things that will be coming up in the future, hey, we're talking about A&D Con 2021, happening August 6th through 8th in Nashville, Tennessee. You can pick up tickets on our website, authorsanddragons.com. There's a big button that says click here. We have tickets. We have hotel rates at a room rate that is discounted. So go check it out. Come join us. It's going to be fun. We're working on the planning right now, and it is coming together very entertainingly. And speaking of entertainment,
They should definitely look at those hotel rates, shouldn't they?
That's maybe the most entertaining part about it, is those sweet hotel rates. Check them out. But also, I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone. The Indiegogo crowdfunder for Chronicles of Calamity Issue 2 has reached 100%, or surpassed 100%, as of recording right now. But fear not, if you missed the initial crowdfunding stage, it will be available and in demand for some time to come. With I think most of the premium tiers are now sold out, unfortunately, but we will have some extra tiers for people to buy. So go check that out. If you didn't get involved during the crowdfunding, you can still pick up an issue. And as always, the only reason we can do these things is because of your continued support. So thank you very much for that. You're gorgeous.
Now, when last we left our intrepid adventuring party, they had successfully defeated scarecrow robot duplicates of their own general classes. It was a hard fight, but they did win very handily. They kicked the shit out of some scarecrow robot.
God, it felt so good to kick our own asses.
Yeah, we got slaughtered the first time, and then we kicked their asses the second time, and I don't feel like I've learned a goddamn thing.
I would hope you would learn don't go into fights with half health and all your shit burned.
Yeah, I learned don't listen to you motherfuckers when you say, no, let's go straight in. We don't have time to take a long rest.
Congratulations! With this, you have successfully finished your trial period. It is my pleasure to reward you your final prize. And there's a glow from next to Mr. Hister as Brandon's body appears.
Quick, everybody, ravish it.
Hey, what do the rest of us get?
Touch his ass!
Don't ruin this for me. Let me just appreciate this.
Who's up for a circle jerk?
I'm not Catherine the Grating, you pal.
I've never seen my body from this angle before.
You've been staring at your butthole for the past week.
This is a rare opportunity for Klaus not to be the only character who sucked his own dick. I'm just throwing that out there.
Let's not sully this moment.
This moment was made for sullying.
That body was made for sullying.
Yeah, what podcast do you think you're on?
This is a special moment.
You know how to make it even more special? Let's get it on.
Okay, yeah, I'm getting uncomfortable on behalf of my body now. So, I don't know. How do we do this? You've ruined it. You've ruined the moment.
My
Snake,
work here's done.
give me my body back.
All you have to do is touch it, just like the others.
You could go fuck yourself.
I don't think I'm that limber, or that's how snakes work.
Not talking to you.
This is the Brandon dilemma. You have to touch yourself.
Oh, yeah, shit.
Quick, somebody touch it first.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, that was a dilemma for about half a second until I heard Silas scream, quick, somebody touch it. And now I am tagging that body.
All right, so Brandon Thighmaster.
Anybody else? When I think about me, I tag myself.
That's pretty good, Bjork. Now I'm uncomfortable, and that's a high bar.
In the north, we have no shame.
So Brandon, you touch your monk body, and as soon as you do, you feel yourself get yanked into said monk body, and you basically are absorbed into it. And this is different than the other times you've all seen it happen. For one thing, the human body kind of got absorbed into your animal forms. For another, it didn't keep glowing. And for a third, it definitely didn't fire beams of magic into all of you, respectively.
I am special. I've forgotten how great it was being me.
So Brandon touched himself, and we all got magical stuff spewed on us?
We just got Brandon cockied.
The puma form is sucked into the monk body. There is a blinding light of magic that encompasses Brandon Thighmaster that fires out directly into each of you. And cue standard anime transformation sequence as your bones twist and snap and fingers sprout from hooves. And there's just really all sorts of body horror going on. But you are all, one by one, returned to your human forms.
You couldn't let me have my moment, could you?
It's the most horrifying episode of Sailor Moon ever.
Yeah.
I would like to check my member.
You are all, your bodies are functional, they have returned, your gear is there. The only thing of note is that you have not healed. So if you're, for example, I'm going to try and do as many of you guys as I can as I make these, but damage carries over.
Okay.
Check.
All right. But you have been fully restored. The magical light fades.
Yes!
And Mr. Hister nods. Congratulations on completing your final trial. And don't forget to stop by Warlock Monroe's mansion to pick up your extra prize.
Oh, pick up a prize, all right.
Oh, I can think of a couple prizes.
Do I have Ron Weasley Jeremy back?
Yes.
Ah, hello, friend. Boy, have I got some things to teach you.
Oh, that does imply that Ron Weasley, Jeremy got Akira into the Klaus Weasel hybrid.
I think we established that he was external to you guys in like the first episode, and we just have not really dealt with it since. He might have fucked off from you guys. Ron Weasley, Jeremy's smart.
Yeah. No, that would be an intelligent move.
So I took one look at the situation and was like, oh no, oh fuck all of this.
Can't say I would blame him.
That snake is gone, and I am me again. All is right with the world. Except for all those other problems, I guess, that we were storing up until this point. Wait, Gordon's still a bear. Oh, no, that's right. Never mind.
Wait, is this Gordon being a bear, or is this the actual bear?
I mean, it kind of wanders in once the snake is gone and looks at you all. I can't remember. Oh, yeah, you guys can't understand anything because you are not animals anymore.
Oh. Well, it turned up after the fight was done, so I assume it's Gordon.
Yeah, it's kind of like it shifts. It gives you like a thumbs up and like there's some telltale signs.
So we need to get back to the mansion so we can leave.
I want to get off this island.
It is very easy to find the mansion. The mansion is a huge geographical marker. It
very
towers.
stupid.
Yeah, it towers above. Basically, so long as you guys can beat 5 on survivals, you can head toward the mansion, because it's, especially you're in a desert, there's nothing blocking your view.
We should probably take a nice rest before we proceed to confront the doctor.
I'm in no hurry. This is great.
I might disagree, because you never know. He might fuck us over and be like, "Oh, you didn't get here within the time, so now you're back to animals."
Or is there? I can't trust a warlock. Does raise the question of vengeance as well. Vengeance. Should I? Should we? Is there?
No.
Yes.
No. He turned us all into animals without breaking a sweat. He will fuck our shit right up.
Well, there's a question of justice here. I mean,
Fuck justice. Don't want to lose my penis again.
I was denied my chance to burrow into a body as a weasel, but maybe I could still do it as a half-elf.
I mean, you just need a bigger hole. And now that we're all human, we can cut large holes in things.
I like to think we've learned some valuable lessons about how there's really not that much difference between us and the animal kingdom when it comes to burrowing into live targets.
No. I've learned a great difference. Klaus is a human. We don't have to watch him suck his own dick.
I'm a half-elf.
Yeah.
He's a half-elf, and we probably have to watch him try at some point.
I can lick my hand.
Fendingo's heading towards the castle. Look, fuck y'all. I'm going to the castle. And I nat 1 my survival check.
You suck.
Immediately trips over.
You fall in the sand. You fall down. You get sand in your eyes. You go to flap your hands and leap into the sky, and you crash down face first, forgetting that flying was a bird thing.
Fuck. Don't fly anymore.
Well, with my mighty 7 survival, I drag him out of the sand and be like, "That was stupid."
I roll a 17.
I'm not even going to argue with you.
Bjorn rolled a 15.
Yeah, everybody except the blind Fandingo.
Klaus rolls a 19.
Oh yeah, definitely. Everybody can see the giant manor. Again, it is very distinctive. So it's going to take you all a few hours to get there. It is a bit of a hike. You're kind of deep on the island at this point, but you can absolutely start heading that way.
Bjorg, are you beat up at all?
I could use some health, yes.
All right.
Let's see here. I'm not completely. I'm at 86 out of 98, so probably pretty good.
You're fucking fine.
I'm at less than half.
Oh, all right. Well, can't you, jerk off yourself? I mean, lay on hands yourself?
That is true. I will lay on
I'll
hands
jerk
myself.
off myself. I'm healthy, though.
While you guys are walking, before you spend the hit points, Rick, since you guys are alone, Gordon is going to shift back and do some quick healing on y'all.
Thank you, Gordon.
Thank you for finally being useful, Gordon.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of y'all forgot that Gordon is not supposed to be seen by anybody on this island in human form. That's a fairly major component that was established early on.
I think it's fair to say that most things with regards to Gordon, we've forgotten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is kind of what he's there for.
To be forgotten.
All right, you said you're halfway down?
Yep.
All right. You heal 18.
Not too shabby. I can live with that.
Who else was weakened?
Bjorg is 86 out of 98, so I don't know how.
Yeah, he'll throw a second level on you. You heal 17.
Okay, that's enough to put me back up to max.
Are you good now, Rick, or do you need more juice?
Brandon's at about 75%.
Yeah, I'm about 75%. I can deal with that.
I mean, I've got all my spells except for 2, so I can.
Yeah.
I can also heal.
Hold on to him in case we need to kill anything.
Good point.
Yeah, I'll throw another 2. I'll give you each one, and I'll give Gordon will cast a first level Cure Wounds on Silas, and you said Brandon was also down a little.
Yeah, though.
So 6 to Silas, 9 to Brandon.
Nice.
And then Gordon is going to promptly turn back into a bear as soon as he hears anyone.
All right, Gordon, we're going to head to the castle. Follow us if you want to, or don't. Pretty much same thing.
He kind of growls and he makes a few motions with his bare hands. He basically just points toward the boat. He's going to go wait for you guys on the boat.
All right. That seems legit.
Christ, a drop in on Brandegg, I guess.
Oh, check out. Don't forget Toreg. Check on him.
I'm going to need intelligence checks from, all of you.
Oh, dear.
Why do you do this to us?
Fendingo rolls a 19.
Silence gets an 8.
Klaus rolls a 5.
Bjorg rolls a 9.
Brandon Firemaster rolls a 13.
So it's been a few days, a few very hectic days, but you do remember that Gordon distinctly told you that when he was taken as an animal on the ship, they thought he was, just like a pet or something. That was when they also came and took the egg from the ship.
Oh, so somebody's already looking after her.
Good thing we're going to the castle.
Yes.
We're going to have to fight this motherfucker to get the egg back.
Yeah, maybe.
Be good parents.
Consider it adoption.
Kill in the name of your children.
This is probably a better family for Brandegg anyway.
I'll pretend I didn't hear that. Justice is one thing, but egg napping is quite the other. Let's see how this.
And I will just point out, Toreg does not deserve a better family than us.
I think that right there proves my point.
Two very different approaches to the custody battle there.
So, as you all are walking to the manor, is there anything you would like to do, prep, etc.?
I'm going to tune my lute, and that's not a euphemism for anything.
I was thinking about tuning my lute, and that is a euphemism, but I think I'm going to save it just in case it's useful in the coming encounter.
Oh, God. It's the only thing you ever put any foresight into.
I'm showing restraint, people.
I will pray for guidance, and if anything, actually helpful or useful comes in that kind of goes against my teachings, I will promptly ignore it.
Yeah, I will just enjoy being Brandon Firemaster for the walk over. This is great.
Feels so slow walking.
Bjorg is probably occasionally cutting flowers out or picking flowers and weaving them into a crown as he walks.
I will also apply a fresh coat of oil.
Understandable.
And I will remember that my magic bow is covered in toenails and goblin teeth.
I happily remember that. You will happily remember.
Oh, very, very gladly. I will admire the fuck out of it as we walk.
So good to be human again, except for Silas.
All right. So if y'all are just kind of making a trek, it'll take you a couple hours. You'll go through the various environments. You see more animated animals. They all kind of wave to you for the most part. They're still very friendly.
That's good.
And you eventually reach the manor. Would you like to go in?
Yeah.
All right. Roll me perceptions.
Silas gets a 9.
Fandingo also gets a 9.
Brandon gets a 16.
Klaus gets a 20, not natural.
Bjorg gets 23.
All right. So Silas and Fandingo, you can both notice that there are a bunch of people in the big manor dining hall. Well, people is maybe not the right word. Beings, creatures, and several of them are familiar. You recognize some faces. Brandon, you notice that there are many familiar faces. In fact, you think you know everyone in this room in some capacity or another. And there is also a bunch of food and a big old banner that says congratulations. And then, let's see, Klaus and Bjorg, you can both notice that all of that everyone present is someone that you have met on your journey. And you can spot that Brandek has been very carefully swaddled and placed in a protective little nest over on this table. And as soon as you all walk in, you hear, "Congratulations!" And an approximation of applause. Not all of them have hands, so there's some squishing, some slapping, some snapping. You know, it's well-intentioned.
It's disturbing, but...
Yes,
Power chords.
it's very disturbing.
All power chords right now.
I'm so glad I saved my mission.
This pomp and circumstance played on an electric guitar.
Yeah, I can do that.
I don't know, I'm feeling a lot less vengeful now. This is quite nice.
Yeah.
We should come back when we're level 20 and murder everybody here.
So for those listening, on the map we have the octopuses from when they first arrived. We have Flex Squish. We have Scritch, the little badger dealer. We have Squawkins, the fourth. We have Crooks, and he is wearing the animated armor that would be drowning him if he were not a frog person.
This is like the last scene of Labyrinth.
You do not remind me of a babe.
Well, check your eyes, buddy.
He does have the power.
What power?
The power of voodoo.
And then you hear a voice kind of ring out through the room. "Yes, congratulations are indeed in order." And then there is a flash as Warlock Monroe appears. "Please step forward. Your trial period has ended, but I am told that you have earned yourself an extra reward. It will be my pleasure to present it."
Ooh,
All right. Step forward.
I do like being rewarded.
Bjorg carefully steps forward.
Can I make a perception check to see if he's fucking with us?
Sure. No, that's insight. Sorry.
Okay.
I too take pleasure in presenting it.
Oh, God.
All right. Who all wants to walk up to Warlock Monroe right away?
I certainly do.
I would
I
like
will.
to roll insight.
Where the hell is he? Is that the guy up there?
Yeah. So whoever is trying to walk to him first can roll me initiatives to see who gets there first.
Bjorg is
Sure.
rolled an 11.
Fendingo rolled a 7 for insight.
Klaus rolled a 7 for initiative.
Brandon Firemaster rolled a 22 for initiative.
Silas rolls an 11 for initiative.
I like prizes.
Okay. Not surprisingly, the monk with enhanced speed is the first one there. How appropriate. Warlock Monroe kind of snaps his hands and like some magic kind of crackles, and he gestures for you to hold out your arm.
Okay. This will be fine, I'm sure.
He touches you on the forearm,
Careful.
and there is a flood of magic that washes over your body. And when it clears, there is the form of an animated puma tattoo upon your forearm that kind of walks around. It fades away if you will it to, but if it's just let loose, it kind of just hangs around.
That is pretty radical.
Yes, indeed, a memento of your time in another body, even though you have chosen not to retain it. It is a small boon that once per day permits you to regain your animal form or tap into its particular strengths. So, in non-NPC speak, what that means, Steve, is once per long rest, for 5 rounds, you can take on your Puma form. It has no health-changing properties, none of that druid stuff, but you get it. You are wearing your armor again, and you will have all your animal capabilities. Alternatively, you can once per day use it to get advantage on a dexterity check.
Nice.
But if you use one function, you lose the other until the next recharge.
Can I also use it to impress tough guys in bars?
Now that is going to be about charisma and how you make the cat dance.
Oh, no problem. You know what, Warlock Monroe? I had this whole speech prepared about consent and, how each of us is on our own path and you have no right to forcibly eject us from that path to perfection. But this tattoo is pretty sweet, so I'm just going to let it slide.
All right, then. Silas, you arrive next.
All right.
Now knowing what the process is, do you just present your arm, or if you want chest, neck, it's your magic tattoo?
I pick a painful body area.
All right, face it is.
Face it is.
Have you seen Silas's face?
Yep, right over the scar.
All right, he touches your scar, and you now have a horse that's hanging out in your scar.
Please tell me the horse's dick runs down his nose.
I'm really looking forward to the John Luther Davis art that comes from this.
The penis is just always hanging out the edge of the mouth.
Of course.
Yeah.
I try to say my god's name. Does it work?
It does not.
I glare at Warlock Monroe. Like, you call this a prize?
And Klaus, you were up next.
God, we
I don't think it's There's no question about it. Yes,
I mean, you've got the size to pull off a detailed tattoo. Why would you waste this opportunity?
And I did not pleasure myself in the desert, so it's probably nice and stretched out right now.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
Those are the words of a man
God.
who's never gotten a tattoo. That's
I mean,
a real high constitution check.
This is not needles and shit. This is, he's just touching it.
Actually, in your case, Klaus, he's using a slightly higher level version of the spell to make it ranged.
Oh, well. Next time, buddy.
But you do get your weasel tattoo upon your penis. It looks very distressed about where it's been placed.
Does it tingle?
No, but it is like you see it trying to run up to your stomach. Getting dragged back down by some unseen force.
That weasel has an unhappy existence ahead of it.
Oh, man, but I have...
It's leaving little claw marks down.
A whole new adventure in masturbation now.
I don't know, man. That weasel's going to get a lot of petting.
I hope it's into aggressive choking.
Thank you, sir.
Can tattoos end their own lives is a question I'm going to have to ask now. For the reference, sorry, Silas, yours does not grant the dexterity save advantage. It grants a constitution save advantage once per day if you choose to use it.
What about mine?
You are dexterity as well. I tried to base it on the animals you had.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Bjorg, where would you like your magic tattoo?
Bjorg slaps his bicep.
All right. He pokes the bicep and
Becomes a borcept.
pig noises tattoo.
Pig noises! Wee!
You have also gotten the constitution advantage ability once per day.
Excellent.
All right. Pendingo will come up, take off his shirt, and say, right here, pointing to the center of his chest, wings spread.
All right. He taps you right in the center of the chest, and you now have a magical parrot tattoo. It is wings spread, although it is, of course, flapping to stay afloat, so that's not a constant state. And after a while, it perches on your nipple and rests.
That's fine. Right above the ring.
Yeah. It might use the ring.
Go for it, buddy.
And you will also get the dexterity option, Fandango. All right. And with that, Warlock Monroe will clap his hands. Excellent, excellent work, all of you. I am disappointed you chose to return to your lesser forms, but to each their own. Now then, when last we dined, you asked me a question.
Well, fuck if I can remember.
Yeah, so tell us the answer. Yeah.
You asked for my guidance on the egg in your possession. And he motions over to the table where Brandegg is resting.
Toreg.
That's true, we did definitely ask about Brandegg. Did we also ask about the heavenly or possibly demonic chest that hit our boat?
I believe you did, but he is not an expert in chests. He is an expert in magical creatures.
Okay, well, fair enough. Can't be experts at everything. Well, maybe I can.
While you were all undergoing your trial period, I took the opportunity to study and carefully examine the egg in your care. Now, while I am unable to ascertain its exact contents, given that it seems to be a facsimile creation in nature, something artificially constructed and therefore non-naturally occurring, it does require a high amount of energy in order to reach its full gestation period. And he is going to reach into his cloak and hand you guys a scroll. Whoever wants to take that can.
I'll take the scroll.
Brand eggs non-natty? Oh no.
Oh, please, like your muscles aren't juiced.
All right, you take the scroll from him, and Warlock Monroe nods. On that, you will find directions to a nearish island. It should only be a week's sail at most. Upon it, I know there to be a somewhat dormant volcano. If there is a place with enough naturally occurring energy to hasten the hatching, that would be your nearest option.
Take the egg to Mount Boom. Check.
Throw it in like a heretic.
By somewhat dormant, do you mean active?
He kind of just shrugs. Sometimes it's dormant. Sometimes it is not.
See, Klaus? Why you gotta be so negative?
Now then, to feasting! And you hear music playing from one of the octopuses as it pulls out several instruments. And yeah, there's food, there's music, and another octopus makes rounds with drinks.
Let's say we grab Torek and get the fuck out of here.
I want to jam with the octopus.
I kind of want to stay for the fisting.
Oh! Yikes.
Now I definitely want to get out of here.
I just now want Klaus to get out of here. Just out of curiosity, is this like a vegan meal, or are these people?
You guys did kill a lot of non-sentient animals too.
Yeah, I know, but this dude's kind of fucked up.
You'd think there'd be like a new moral understanding on the eating of animals, but I am hungry. So I'm gonna grab a turkey leg.
Yeah.
I mean, you were a puma. Nothing about that says you don't eat other animals.
Yeah, I know they can talk now, but I also know that they're still delicious and a plentiful source of protein.
Is there any snake on the table? Because if so, I might grab something and eat it in front of Mr. Hister.
Well, I didn't put any snake icons up, so sorry, there is not.
Oh, man.
All right. You all can eat and revel and make merry. If you have any other questions or previous NPCs you wanted to visit with, they are in attendance. And if you guys just want to bail the fuck out, you can.
I feel like I should say to Warlock Monroe, did we mention that we were possibly being pursued by a force of fantastic evil?
I don't recall, although on these seas, when is there not a force of fantastic evil? There's a reason I have multiple standing armies to defend this sanctuary.
Okay, cool. Just putting it out there.
Funny, I thought that was because you just had this bad habit of turning people into animals.
It's a
and they want
horse.
to kill you.
There's a really evil horse after us.
A horse, you say? Now that is interesting.
Of course, of course.
It's a demonic horse.
For the record, I had nothing to do with the goddamn demonic horse. I was on vacation.
I wonder if me turning into a horse was some kind of, like, metaphor.
No.
Eh.
Nay.
Not for a demonic horse. For a horse's ass, yeah, probably.
Well, we might have breached some kind of a hell portal and strategically retreated from it.
There was a divine island. There is not a divine island anymore.
Oh, and I think we cut loose a dragon somewhere, too.
You are all quite busy.
Wait, are we in confession right now?
I mean, I'm drunk, so yeah.
The half bragging.
But
We've been up to a lot.
Look how much we fucked up the world, man!
it's our version of flexing.
I mean, these people are quite nice. Just give them a heads up. If they're destroyed by demons tomorrow, we can at least say we kind of told them about it.
Explain to them, when we started this journey, there were a lot more islands in this chain.
You're getting off lucky.
Just in case something terrible follows us. Oh, Bjorg is going to look at his compass.
Spinning like wild. Although now your boar will occasionally run up and sniff it, and then get dragged back down to your bicep.
Yeah, nothing to smell there. Just an eternal awareness of evil everywhere.
Does my weasel sniff?
Oh, God.
Oh.
No.
Probably doesn't want to.
Ron Weasley Jeremy does not sniff your penis, no. If you're asking if
I'm
your tattoo...
talking about my tattoo.
Oh, yeah, if your tattoo is valiantly trying to escape and just constantly finding itself pulled back in there, and at this point it is just running in circles around the circumference trying to find freedom.
You now have a fuzzy cock ring.
You'll get used to it, buddy.
Ow.
You'll get used to the eternal stank of balls.
Don't worry, dude. Elf taint smells like wildflowers. It's fine.
No. No.
Once it becomes your new normal, just give it time.
You all might wake up with a quest from Klaus's penis weasel for kill me.
I'll take that quest. But in the meantime, I'll make Mr. Hister uncomfortable by showing off my bow covered in teeth and toenails.
I mean, he's a snake, man. That doesn't really weird him out.
I mean, he tears his skin off a couple of times a year.
Yeah.
I could put that on the bow, too.
Brendan Farmaster doesn't have anything specific. He will talk to Squishflex now that he's in his more perfect form. Show that off a bit.
Oh, yeah. You want to do some railing lifts? And he flaps his little weird stubby things around the stair railing and starts doing pull-ups.
Yeah, sure. I'm going to be polite. I'm not going to call his things stubby. But yeah, I'll do some rail lifts. I'll do some rail lifts with Squishflex and enjoy the party.
All right.
Bjorg will eat a whole ass turkey.
Wait, who does them better? You should have him roll for it.
Then I have to give Flex Squish stats.
It's
we'll just...
The guy's got tentacles. It's an apples and oranges situation here.
Yeah. They're doing a bunch of them. It's very beautiful in its own way, but they are very different forms.
So, buddy, now that I'm not an animal, are you holding? You got anything that works on this form?
I guess you're talking to Scritch?
Yeah.
No armor for the tall ones. No. Purely animal. No market for you all here.
Damn it.
Well, that's embarrassing.
Where's the guy that sold us the drugs at the rave?
Bandingo, do you just assume that all animals are drug dealers?
I think so.
Yeah, kind of.
Unbelievable.
I mean, I assume that all monks are narcissistic assholes.
Well, you're half right.
See? I now assume that all rogues are perverts.
Wholly right.
And all Jorcerers.
Yeah.
All right. Does anyone have anything else they would like to do during this party? All right. Then the evening will wind down. Warlock Monroe will open a portal back to your boat, since you all teleported here originally. Hey, I might have gone back and double-checked some of this stuff. And so yeah, you all can take Brandegg and return to your boat.
Alright, now where was it we were told to go?
I have a scroll with directions.
Ah, excellent.
So long, animal friends. It's been weird.
I feel like there should be a musical number at this point, but the idea makes me uncomfortable.
Well, we're all a bunch of monsters.
Just big old cartoon Disney number going on the island as we sail away.
Now, did we remember to pack any supplies for this voyage?
I was actually going to say, when you get back to your ship, there will be two things that happen. One, you will notice that the meager supplies you used have been restocked. Also, your ship's been cleaned. Looks very nice.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, good.
I'll take care of that.
Basically, the moment you step on to your ship, you find Gordon waiting there, and he's kind of starts stepping kind of more toward the middle, and he goes, "Oh man, thank y'all you're here. I've been feeling kind of weird since I stepped off that island. It also occurs to me, shouldn't I have been a goblin that whole?" And as soon as he gets like halfway across the boat, he lets out like a string of vomit that becomes magical goo that engulfs him, and then it cracks apart, and the goblin Gordon is once more there, but he looks bad. He looks fucked up.
Yeah, but at least we don't have to listen to him now.
Whoa. That was horrifying.
Damn, Gordon.
It's almost like all of that curse that had been negated on the island hit him at once.
Well, as long as you're back, shouldn't you get back to work?
There's just like a stream of drool pouring out of Gordon's face, and like his eyes are flipped up and twitching.
Good lad, chop chop.
Let's put him to bed.
Hey, Silas, he looks really gross. Why don't you lay hands on him?
If he wants me to lay hands, he can convert. Do you convert, Gordon? Nope, doesn't sound like he does.
I don't know. He's a drooling pile of idiot, which is kind of like you, so how can you tell he's not converted?
When he's a drooling pile of idiot who sticks his face into fire, then we'll talk.
Traveling with me, that's always an option.
Silas isn't just any drooling pile of idiot. He's committed.
He's a crispy pile of drooling.
Yeah, you have to be pretty dumb to match the Silas stupid bar.
I mean, concerning the Gordon situation, I believe he was originally supposed to be working on translating the Brandegg fatherhood guide we were given.
Yes.
But now that we know just to throw this sucker in a volcano, I'd always assumed that parenting was a lot more easy than people made out. What should we have him do?
Presuming that's all you need to know is to throw it in the volcano, which is presuming a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad it's easy.
I mean,
certainly.
We could just send him down to the lowest level of the ship so he's kind of out of sight.
He is unpleasant to look at, that's true.
Let's just put him in bed.
go for it. Just not mine.
Alright, fine. Don't like seeing people suffer unnecessarily. Which is hard being around some people.
I love that your solution to that is to just not have to see him suffer.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I feel better already.
Well, you know, presumably Bjork's gonna, just look him over and make sure he's not dying.
The road to salvation is paved with unnecessary suffering.
I'm going to go to the wheel of the ship with the scroll that tells us how to get to the island with the volcano.
As soon as you lay... So I'll just remind you, this is a magic ship. You guys did some cool shit for it. You take it to the captain's quarters, you lay it on the map table, and it kind of merges in with the map, and it becomes a thing that you can go to if you would so like to give the order.
I'm going to give that order. Nobody's here to watch. Nobody's here watching me. Fuck it. Yeah, let's go.
The boat begins to move as the sails cast, the anchor hoists, the, giblets, biblet, ships.
And everybody else is like, shit, what the fuck?
Yeah. The boat begins to move as you all sail off onto your next adventure, which is where we will pick up the game for the next episode of Authors and Dragons. But do not worry, folks, for as you know, we are not done. While we're doing this, Joe is doing the live blog over at facebook.com/authorsanddragons, and he is collecting your questions to ask at the end of the episode. But first, we have our Discord questions, which are associated to our Patreon, patreon.com/authorsanddragons. And that is where we take the questions from the first. All right, that should have been enough vamping for X. I also, before we get into that, I want to say I am impressed with you guys.
Because we made it through a whole episode without pissing anybody off enough to kill us?
Well, you made it through a whole adventure. There were two versions of this island, an easy version and a hard version. And it was all dependent on what you guys did. So, you guys did the easy version the whole way through. Because if you had at any point killed any of these friendly NPC characters, which I really thought you might try to do, the entire island was going to turn into a manhunt against you.
Well, you put that protective barrier around Mr. Hister, so...
Yeah. I think that's the only thing that kept us from becoming a giant manhunt.
That one felt a
fun.
little playing unfair if I make you if you kill the annoying NPC host.
And also our own ineptitude, because, even without the barrier, we still would have had to have managed to kill him.
Yeah.
That's true.
Which would have been extra fun for Silas, because, killing a paladin's not a good thing. He has at least one level in it.
Yeah, but you know something? If he's a heretical paladin, which is pretty much any paladin that doesn't worship who I worship, that's okay.
Yeah, see, Silas can get around the rules by being an asshole.
So I was very curious to see what version of the island y'all were going to play through.
Yay us for not
Indeed.
fucking up dramatically.
It's like, well, if you kill any of these nice, friendly, innocent civilians, then they're going to mobilize their army against you because you're murderers.
I give John a lot of credit for that, because every time, myself or Klaus would try to say something, he would jump in front of us and be like, shut up.
I basically used your own violent tendencies as a trap.
I kind of just assume that that's most of my job as the bard of this party, is not to record great deeds, is to shut you guys up.
All right, so, we finished the island of Warlock Monroe. Wait, real quick, when's the last time you guys leveled?
A while ago.
Has it been a
no
while?
idea.
I thought we had done one recently, but if not, then you definitely should level at the end of this, because you just completed a major arc.
I think it's been kind of recently, but I also think we went like a year without leveling.
Fair enough. Fuck it. This was I checked earlier. This has been like a long-ass arc. Yeah, you all level. You've all survived the island of Warlock Monroe. You all gain a level. This was definitely enough to warrant one, by God. So,
Cool.
you are all level 10. My God. So long. All right. Wow. Double digits.
Oh, it's like we've turned a corner.
We'll
I mean,
fuck it up again
We
soon,
haven't
don't
turned
worry.
a corner. It's like we've turned a corner.
Well, while we're all thinking of ways to fuck up with the new abilities that being level 10 will grant you, Rick, why don't you walk us through some of those Discord questions?
Happy to. Well, our first is a request. Our friend Kveld Bjorn, I apologize if I'm saying that incorrectly, he says my birthday is May 2nd or May 3rd, depending on which end of the state I'm in. I have no idea what that means, so we'll just say my birthday is coming soon. Can I get a fuck you, Bjorn?
Fuck you, Bjorn.
Fuck you, Bjorn!
Fuck you, Bjorn.
Fuck you for not knowing what day your birthday is.
Fuck you, Bjorn.
Look, you party hard on your pre-birthday week. I get that.
Yes. Yes, if your birthday is May 2nd, then fuck you on May 3rd, Bjorn.
I mean, your mum can't be expected to remember everything, man.
Wow.
I'm letting that one go because everything I've got to say is just fucking terrible. Like, even for us, terrible.
Well, why don't we just move on to our first actual question?
That
Yeah,
sounds
yeah,
like
yeah.
a plan.
Pull the Bevan.
All right. Our friend Shane asks, in your latest side quest, we discovered that Dakota Kraut published his first book out of spite. What, if anything, have each of you published out of spite?
Actually, my first book. I wrote out of spite. I got fired from a gig working for the internet poker industry and decided that I would write the great American novel, and I'd show her that I was way too talented to fire. Spoiler, I'm not that fucking talented, and 6 weeks later they fired her too, so fuck it, it didn't matter. But yeah, I wrote my entire writing career is built out of spite.
That sounds close enough to revenge for me.
Secondhand Curses, for me, was sort of a spite book. It grew out of a short story that I had submitted to an anthology collection, and I really liked the short story, and I was kind of like, no, fuck y'all, this is good. This can be something. And so I expanded it out, and I made like a whole little book about it, and then, you know what the real kick in the pants is? The one thing I cut from that book was the original short story.
That's kind of brilliant.
I was going to say, the whole not-so-subtle Vampire Jesus arc in Tome of Bill, I was asked by some extended family members. I mentioned it just in passing, and they were just like aghast at it because they're a little bit of Silas's themselves. And they made me promise not to do it, and then I did it anyway.
So then I wrote the entire Vampire Jesus Bible.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with just a little bit of everything. It's It's always in there, just under the surface. That's all.
It's just a constant sea of bubbling spite. Yeah, I'll go with that one as well.
I wrote one of my first now trunked novels because the newspaper I was working for, the editor told me that I should give up on writing professionally because I wasn't good enough to go anywhere. So
Yeah, but he's an editor at a newspaper. What does he know about writing?
Nothing now with the way newspapers are going. So how's this fucking unemployment going?
I've every time I drive by that newspaper's office, I give it the finger.
I mean, but it's a Wendy's now. That's just mean.
I mean, Wendy's sucks, so it's fine.
Some Wendy's employee just like, what is that guy's problem?
I guess we gave someone else diarrhea.
He's been doing that every day for years.
Hey, stop eating here if you don't want to shit.
I like Wendy's.
I mean, I like Taco Bell. It makes me shit. It is what it is.
We got to keep them sponsorship deals open. We'll endorse your product. Maybe not in the way you want us to, but we'll endorse your product.
All right, our friend Paladin Steve asks, have you ever snuck some of your books onto the shelves at places like Barnes & Noble on the theory that when they try to sell them, they'll have to add them to their inventory company-wide?
Well, not yet, but...
No, I've been a retail employee. Do you know what happens when something doesn't scan? We throw it in the fucking garbage.
Fuck no, I have to pay for those.
Yeah.
No.
I went on vacation to an Airbnb once, and I was like editing during it. And when we left, like I wrote this like 3-page story in the logbook, and then I left a signed book there. Don't know if they cared or not, but it made me happy.
If I was single, I would do that, and then I'd just hang around until like some lovely young woman came over that aisle, and I'd take it out, sign it, put it back, and give her a wink.
Oh God! I mean, you're gonna be in that bookshop a long time.
That
Why does this book have 75 signatures in it?
Then at the end of the day, you bring it home because like I'm not losing this copy.
I keep meaning to just go around to. There's a lot of unusual little libraries these days. Like somebody will turn a phone box into a library, or there'll be some local library. I always think I should go around and leave a copy of my book there, but I'm a very lazy man, so I don't.
I kind of want to leave some shingles in those sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. My books are in Barnes and Noble, so I don't have to. I don't have to do that. But at the same token, Steve just mentioned libraries, and I have yet to find a copy of any of my books in a library. I always check.
Now that I've done, because I have friends who are librarians, so they've ordered some of my shit.
I could just break into my old school and leave every copy of Shingles in there. So it looks like a legitimate collection.
I had a fun library moment with some friends while we were in, I want to say it was Seattle or something. We stopped at the local library because my friend's an architecture fan. And while we were there, they were like, oh, let's see if Drew has any books here. And we checked, and I did not have any on the shelves. And then somebody looked it up online, and I did actually have books there, but they were all checked out.
That's cool.
Nice.
Score.
That's awesome.
I was like, ha-ha!
Take that, library.
Indeed. It's the complement of a library book. It's in use.
Our friend Sharif asks, what's the funniest or most concerning first date you've ever been on?
I had a girl tell me she was into cocaine over appetizers.
But what was the concerning date?
It's the best time to talk about cocaine.
I didn't appreciate it in my youth, but like looking back now, I'm like, you know what? I respect that. She was straight up front. She was like, hey, this is me. This is my deal. If you're not down for it, you should probably, be aware. And honestly, that's actually very refreshing upon reflection.
This is going to get intense. It's not even the main course yet.
Yeah. Hey, buddy, if you are not into cocaine, then this is probably not the date for you. But, she let me know before entrees were ordered and everything. Like, that's what I can't really ask for more.
Rather than buy me dessert, you could buy me cocaine. I I got set up on a blind date once, and I mean, I don't consider myself any great prize, but let's just say there wasn't really any attraction going on there, and she was really aggressive, and it was just like all I wanted to do was just leave, but I also didn't have my own car, so I couldn't. So I kind of this was I probably should have just been like up front and been like, yeah, this isn't gonna work. But I was a complete wuss at that point. Not that I'm not now. So I pretty much was like, I know, I'll just be a jackass the entire night and just do everything I can to turn her off me, like flirting with the waitress, flirting, like, you know, just doing everything I can wrong, and it didn't work.
If only you'd had the integrity of Cocaine Girl.
Yep, I could have used a little Cocaine Girl that night. So basically, after the date, I wound up hiding at parties that were thrown by mutual friends for the next year and a half.
Oh, I got kind of a similar story. I think I might have told it on here before, but yeah, I went on. I met this one girl for the first time. She brought a friend along, and we met at a bar and we got smashed on tequila, and I said that I was like more into her friend, and she told me to go away, and then so I did. And on the taxi ride home, I freaked out because I forgot my cell phone, and so I pulled my cell phone out of my pocket and called her, and asked her if she'd see my cell phone.
I've been married for a long time. I don't remember any of my bad date stories.
Yeah.
They were in the 90s, for fuck's sake. And I smoked a lot of dope in the early 90s, so I don't remember much shit before I got married.
Yeah, I got married when I was 22, so
Me too.
yeah, I didn't. There's a lot of stuff that I just rites of passage that I just didn't go through. But I'm trying to think. Nope, I don't have any weird dating stories. I just got picked up on the way to a cast party once.
Yeah, I don't think I go on dates. I just meet people in bars, and if they want to take me home, they take me home.
Those are cab drivers, Steve.
Yeah, well, they fuck good, John. But,
Well, those are clowns.
anyone could be a clown if you put enough lipstick on. Anyway, yeah, I think the first kind of I met somebody in a bar, and I was still quite young. And I had all the confidence of being young and drunk for, I think, maybe like the second or third time. And there's a very pretty woman, and I got a number, and she wanted to meet up with me. And I'd never really been on a meet up with people date. I think I was about 17, so mostly like our ideas of dates were just kind of hanging around with people. Then I remembered I'd lied about my age, and she was older than me. She was about 19. I think she'd assumed I was older than I was, and I hadn't corrected her. So that kind of lying about your age. And back at that age, a 2-year gap between you and a girl was considered a very big deal. And the whole experience was just incredibly stressful. Even though she was perfectly lovely, I was just like, all the times that I should probably tell her that I'm 17. But I didn't, because I was a coward. And then I just never spoke to her again. So there you go, that was awkward. And I just decided never to do dates again after that. Just going home with clown cab drivers.
They're upfront about things.
All right, Rick, do we have one more from Discord?
All right. Our friend Lamplighter asks, what is a strange or weirdly specific phobia you have?
Mine are all pretty run-of-the-mill. I don't like heights or cockroaches.
Mine's snakes.
Open water.
A strange one that I don't like is either silk or like material, like it, people running their fingernails across it. The sound just skeeves me out for some reason.
I'm kind of like that, but with very dry hands and white paper. Like the feeling of my hands on my hands when like I've just washed my hands on paper is really just unpleasant. But in terms of fear, yeah, I don't like having. I have a forest right next, like on my property that's like right next to my house, and when when I have to go and take the trash out, I have to have my back to the forest at night, and I just do not like. No. I start walking back to the house as fast as I can.
I used to think this was unusual, but apparently pretty common. Empty swimming pools make me uneasy. In a way that the ocean or rivers or lakes do not, specifically empty swimming pools.
Like no water in them, or isn't nobody in them?
No, I mean there's like no one around. Yeah,
oh, okay.
Just like.
I have the same thing.
But a really unusual one I had when I was a kid was whenever I saw a specific color of metallic orange, like you get on construction sites, I'd get a really weird taste in my mouth that I had to kind of spit. So I never figured out what that was about. It just stopped happening to me. But for a couple of years there, I'd see something of that color and
yeah, one of those clowns was a construction worker by day.
Jesus.
It's possibly the only explanation for that.
All right, Joe, why don't we head on over to Facebook and see what those folks are asking about?
Okay, so let's see here. I'm gonna. We can always move this around if we want, but I'm gonna front load this with a good call because I don't know how much time we have left. Our friend Crystal says, ever answer a spam call just to screw with them? How did that go down? And I didn't, but I have a friend who every time scam numbers call him, he picks up the phone and he starts DMing for them. Like, you enter into a room. In the corner is a large barrel. The far wall there is a fireplace. What do you do?
Nice.
And he'll apparently his record is like something like 45 minutes. Because he explained to me, he's like, yeah, I'm screwing with them, but every second I'm on the phone with them is a second they're not scamming someone else.
Noble.
Yeah. I've never had the patience to do anything like that, although it sounds like if I need to, a good option is to read to them from WizKid, the latest Robert Bevan Shingles book. By God, if it makes Bob uncomfortable, I can only imagine what it's going to do for them.
Yeah, you might. I don't know. You might meet somebody that you're not happy they have your phone number.
Yeah, I haven't really fucked with anybody, but I have how you can, on your cell phone, you can hit reply with a text. I've built a macro so that when I reply with a text, it says die in a fire, don't ever call me again.
Nice.
I don't know if it goes anywhere, but it makes me feel better.
Yeah, I got nothing.
I've never messed with a scammer. I normally just, when I pick up the phone and it's an unknown number, I just don't say anything. And I think that doesn't trigger what automation thing they've got. So if it's a scam call, it won't even go through. So that's my rock solid technique. But I did try to be reasonable with one the other day who just had the wrong information. He was like, is that John Stevenson? I was like, well, no. Do you know John Stevenson? I was like, no. So I just want to talk to you about John Stevenson's phone contract. And rather than just hanging up, I was just going to go, well, I can't really discuss this phone contract because I'm not John Stevenson. And I'm just having this conversation with this guy who's very clearly just wanted to get through his script just once. And I don't know, this went on for way longer than it should have.
But I normally want to, but I just don't find that. The second I pick up the phone, I just want to get off it. Usually the worst I do is I get a lot of those survey calls, and whatever they're like, well, are you a member of your family, like, yak herders before we start? Yes, I am always whatever they ask.
I was just going to say that the only time I've done something like that is it was a credit card scam. So, like, the really nasty ones. I answered the phone, and when I realized who they were, I just started breathing really heavily.
This wasn't a phone call, but I got a letter in the mail the other day from an address I didn't recognize. They had my address right, and my last name, but the first name was Laney. So I thought, well, maybe somebody misspelled Robert. I don't know. They got everything else right. This has to be for me. So I opened it. It was a card. It says, "Our hearts go out to you." It says, "Wishing you memories that ease your loss and love that heals your sadness. And then handwritten,
Oh, shit.
I'm so sorry about your husband's passing. I am praying for you. And please let me know if I can do anything for you. Like, I wonder if I can get money out of this.
God
Oh,
damn
God.
it! Jesus! Oh!
Not the direction I was expecting that to go.
But really, why wasn't it the direction? I mean, damn.
Well, life hands you lemons.
Steal lemonade.
Head of Lady Lemons.
When life hands Laney lemons, steal her husband's wallet.
Let's see here. Who is your our friend Stephanie asks, who is your favorite Ninja Turtle?
Raphael.
Raphael. Oh, you got that for me.
Leonardo.
Donatello as a kid, because, nerd. Now Michelangelo.
No, I'd still say Donatello because, I mean, the others are ninjas, but he makes them a car and shit.
Well, I sometimes have an existential crisis about this because I remember picking Raphael, but I think it's because all my cooler friends already picked the other Ninja Turtles, so I had to be Raphael. So sometimes I think, but Raphael definitely is my favorite turtle. But sometimes I think, is he my favorite turtle because I was forced down that path at an early age? Would I
Or
be a
maybe you were
different
forced
person?
down that path because you were the Raphael.
Maybe. Or, maybe if I'd picked a different turtle, my life would have turned out really differently. Less cool, but crude.
I liked his personality the most in the cartoon, and I thought his weapon looked the coolest.
He was the worst in the video game, though. His little stubby size did nothing.
No, they were terrible.
It's like sarcasm doesn't translate to video games, Raphael. What you gonna do now?
Yeah, video game Donatello had that big fucking staff he was swinging.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
clearly the
Yeah.
superior arcade turtle.
Yeah.
I didn't really watch Ninja Turtles, so I don't have a favorite turtle.
Boo!
Boo this man. Boo him.
All
That's
right.
fair.
Our friend Jesse said, have you ever been mistaken for someone else and just rolled with it?
Fuck you, Jesse.
I wish I had. This is, again, way back when I was single. I got on the subway in Korea, and this really pretty woman came up to me and asked me, like, are you, I forgot the guy's name, so-and-so, and, I guess they had set up a blind date. I regret not just rolling with it.
Yes, and I recently lost my husband. Can I have some money, please?
Somewhere there's alternate Bevan, leading this pimp lifestyle. And he's like, man, it all came back to just that one lie.
I'm in over my head.
In vagina.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't think I've ever been confused. I had a doppelganger. I don't know if anyone else has had this, but I had a doppelganger in 2 places I lived. When I went to university, people would sometimes come up to me and start talking to me like they knew me. And people would often say, oh, didn't I see you at such and such? It's like, no. And then it just turned out somebody says, like, there's a guy who looks just like you. But I never met him. And then when I returned to live in Corby and went to work in one of the largest employers in the town, there was somebody who worked in that building that people kept getting me confused with, saying, oh, it's just out in the smoking area. There's a guy that looks just like you, but I've never met him.
You didn't run out to the smoking area to go, try and catch him?
We meet at last. God.
Then you find out he's just not there. Oh, shit.
It's like the most mundane Tyler Durden situation there is.
I haven't had a specific thing of being mistaken for another person, but from about when I was, starting when I was like 13 and all the way until I was in my early 20s, everywhere I went to school, one of the first things that people would ask me after like looking at me weird as if they knew me is if I had an older brother. I do not have an older brother. I don't have any brothers.
That you know of.
You may at some point travel back in time.
Yeah, maybe maybe that's it.
Could be.
Mine is kind of similar to Bob's in that back in high school I went to a Halloween party. It was a new place. I hadn't been there before, so I didn't really know too many people. But some girl, pretty cute, came up to me and she thought I was somebody else. It wasn't like I was wearing a heavy costume or so, and she was obviously into this somebody else. And I just kept telling her, no, I'm not him. And it's one of those things like afterwards you're like, but you could have been him.
Oh.
Yeah, I've never really had the mistaken identity thing. I'm pretty distinctive. Height alone.
My friend Chris and I were mistaken for each other all the time in college. I graduated the semester before he came into the same department at the same university, so it was more he was mistaken for me because I just spent 4 years there. But then out in the world, we worked together on a lot of things and got mistaken for each other.
On a side note, I will add, now that I recounted that awkward date story, people assuming I'm a lot older than I actually was happened to me a lot when I was a teenager.
Yeah, it's not so fucking fun when it happens to you in your 40s.
Yeah, I mean, well, when people assume I'm a lot older than I am, physiologically, they're quite correct. So, can't really argue with them. But at the time, I think it mostly just led to people asking if I'd buy cigarettes for them. But I didn't. So,
There you go. Steve, the moral bastion.
well, I was too young. Also, I didn't have any money, so...
There's the hang-up.
Oh, wait. They wanted you to buy cigarettes for them with your own money?
Some of them
Those
did.
are bullies, Steve. Those are bullies.
Yeah.
Generally those types of people, that definitely did happen, and they definitely were. Bullies is probably... Criminals is probably a more correct word.
Hey, you look like my best friend who's too polite to say no and always buys me smokes.
They were robbing you.
You look like you don't get carded. Also, I have this knife.
I mean, they should just skip the middleman and go steal cigarettes from people who are smoking.
Well, criminals aren't very logical or, nice people. The people who were smoking probably were the right age and would have fought back. I wasn't. It's like I was in the wrong territory. Emotionally,
You
physically.
can find some fat nerd smoking outside of Denny's or something. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just
You
saying.
can't be a nerd and smoking, Bob. Everyone knows cigarettes make you cool.
Yeah, that was definitely the actual law at the time.
Never made me cool.
What?
Maybe you were smoking the wrong brand.
I was smoking Bud Lights.
I was 8 years old. Daddy's smoking a pack of Bud Lights. No one ever fucked with me.
Yeah. They say a kid trying to light a beer can on fire? What the fuck?
Stay away from that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't fight crazy. Alright, I think that is as good a place as any to call it for this evening. Thank you all for joining us for this episode of Authors and Dragons. We'll be back next week with a side quest, and then again in 2 weeks with more of this game, so we'll see how the trip goes. Until then, bye!
Bye.
Authors and Dragons is brought to you under a Creative Commons license, meaning you are free to share this material so long as credit is given to those who created it, which is us, the people you just heard play the game. Opening and closing themes performed by the Gore Core 4.
Authors and Dragons! Authors and Dragons!
In the North we have no shame.